everybody, 2K19 tutorial number 26. Today I'll be showing you guys how to defend pick and rolls in 2K19 using 3 different strategies interchangeably. There will also be detailed film breakdown to show you exactly what the weak points are in a defense when it is being attacked by a pick and roll, so you would know which strategy to use of the 3 to shut it down. Now make sure though you do catch up with my all 2K19 tutorials playlist from my homepage so you can stay up to date on previous tutorials and future ones after this one. So if you want to be good at 2K19, you have to learn these 3 steps to guarding a pick and roll. This is because whether you're playing online, offline, against your friends, it doesn't really matter. You are probably going to see over 30 pick and rolls a game on defense, depending on how long you play, but 20 to 30 you won't be able to avoid it. So you need to know how to shut it down. Now watch here. This is actually a bad clip where in an online setting, the defense fails to go over the screen or play the correct hedge, and they also didn't bring extra help. So essentially, all of the 3 things you need to do to stop a pick and roll, everything failed there. That's why you see Curry with a wide open 3. So you must be able to nail those 3 things. So step 1 is to being able to play good on-ball defense, and if you can go over the screen, then the problem is solved. This is the easiest and quickest way to shut down a pick and roll, if you can do it. You can see my Jaylen Brown in an online setting went over the screen there, and I completely shut down that Kyrie and Al Horford pick and roll. Like, there's nothing after that, and it just goes into these dead possession because there's too little time to run another pick and roll again. So at this point, you just gotta got the ISO. And all of this goodness is essentially triggered by the reality that I was able to go over the ball on the initial screen, and I shut down the entire thing. But over doesn't happen consistently. So if the over fails, like as I do with Clay here in an online setting, you can see my Clay is behind the screen. I'm not over and I'm not attached to the handler. So now I must switch to the big man who's going to pick up, in this case Bogut, to show, bait the handler to pass, recover, and force another bad pass. That's the second step. If the play on ball you play on ball initially, right? And then you control the hedge yourself. So I'm going the on ball here, and I can see the handler is about to attack. He went away from the screen, so I just control the hedge. So I started off guarding on ball, and once I go over, or once the handler makes a move to do anything else, really, he disengages, I'm going to switch to the hedge. So essentially, once the over is done, like right here, I noticed computer, like I went over the hedge initially, but I know it's done. Computer can guard the ball now, so I'm going to switch to Nurkic to guard the hedge. This is because once the over part is done, the next mistake's gonna happen is your hedge defender. That's why you're gonna switch to him right away to stop those mistakes. And pick and roll defense is really about using both options together interchangeably. So here you can see I'm on ball here using Clay. I go over the screen, then I switch to the hedge. That was like a millisecond. Now I'm containing with the hedge. The on ball is always gonna be there, so I don't need to do that manually. So I must switch to the hedge in case Maurice Spades, the hedge defender, makes a mistake as an AI. I get it all down there, complete shutdown. But this is the thing. Getting the over is already hard enough, but sometimes getting the initial hedge right is also never enough. You can see I was able to do the over here myself, kinda. I fell behind here, but it doesn't matter. If I fall behind, I gotta switch to the hedge anyway. So now I'm playing contain. Computer Curry is trying to chase the opposing online Curry down. And there will always be this pocket of space. Even if you switch to hedge, you switch back to on ball. If the opposing player is good at those crossover moves, he will be able to manipulate that pocket and probably get a pretty decent shot out of it, like this online user did here. He just missed it, but that's an open shot. So if you mess up the over, you go use your hedge. But if you mess up the hedge afterwards, then you're going to bring a third defender in. So you're going to blitz the pick and roll with an off-ball defender. You can see here, I messed up the over. I'm trying to control the hedge. I'm too late to hedge. My hedge defense is late. So now I got to bring in a third guy. And I didn't. So then I died to it, right? So watch. In this instance, here comes another online pick and roll. I'm already controlling the hedge, expecting the on-ball over to fail, and it did. So now the hedge attack defender is being attacked. So I just switched to Tatum here, and I bring the third defender, trying to bait the opposing player to a bad pass. I did okay there. Then I bring down Horford, leaves the corner, rotate back out to the corner as Hayward now. So I was able to sniff that out because even though my on-ball and hedge was bad, I kind of baited with the third defender, bringing him in the pick and roll scenario in defense, and threw the offense off. So watch it again. I'm gunning this online. The over fails. I'm playing the hedge. Hedge kind of about to fail. I play the on-ball and I was able to shut it down. Same thing here again. They run another action. I try to go over fail. I bring in the third defender already because I see the hedge fail. I was able to bait a bad pass because I bought in a third off-ball defender. That is really important. You need to take that step sometimes to shut down a pick and roll when another users, they really get it going. Here you can see me do a terrible defensive rotation using the third defender. So the over is dead, the hedge is dead. I've decided to bring in the third guy to shut this down, but actually I read it wrong. The hedge is fine. Horford has contained this. All I gotta do is contain Kyrie. I'm using Tatum wrong. I contained the wrong body. I should have contained Kyrie instead of Horford. Gave up the open three, paid for it. But that's my thought, right? So those are the 3 steps to shutting down the pick and roll. But there's also an easier step. You can also just straight up switch it and live with the mismatch. If you do that, you don't have to follow any of those 3 steps. You can just switch it. You can see Horford's on Kyrie, Jalen's on Al Horford on defense, and I don't really care. I'll take an Al Horford shot on Jaylen Brown, even if it's online. It doesn't bother me. That's a good switch. That's why the switch is the easiest, but to switch it, you need the right roster and the right matchups, right? And to be really extreme, you can do like the classic back in the day Miami Heat thing, where you just double the handler. So you can see a Hall of Fame Dragic just running a pick and fade here with Olynyk. I didn't care. I'm just going to blitz it. So I blitzed Dragic. He didn't pass to Olynyk. I was able to shut that down. That's the end of that. So the best skill to have in this whole thing, really, whether you switch or you double or you blitz or you do the 3 steps, you need to have great on-ball defense because it will help you versus pick and rolls and also non-pick and rolls. Let's say you do good enough with those 3 steps against the pick and rolls. Eventually, the AI or an opposing user or your friend, they're just going to go to the ISO stuff. And at that point, you need to have your on-ball defense on point. And a lot of that is still that gear shifting. Nothing much has changed. You hold on to R2 and then you either hold L2 to be slow, or you tap L2 to be kind of quick, or you just hold R2 to be super fast, just turbo only, right? You can see me doing those tactics here. I'm holding R2, tapping L2, just shutting down the ball. There's no pick and rolls being ran here, so I'm just going to stick with my on-ball fundamentals, using the gear shifting and just using the right stick to contest, because at the end of the day, you can play all the on-ball, but you still got to contest. And obviously, the jump contest is the best, where you click triangle or the jump button. But if you can't, then a right stick contest will probably give you half the effectiveness. But you get to stay on the ground, so you won't fall for pump fakes, and you likely won't get out of position and will be able to recover if everything else bad happens. So make sure you do play that excellent on ball, but never forget to contest. And if you can jump contest, you best believe you better jump contest. If you can right stick, if you can't, then try to bail yourself out as a right stick contest, but do not have an habit where you just right stick contest. Jump contest is always the goal. You can see me here, that's a jump contest on Oladipo. That's not too bad. That you will likely get you a miss. Now, but if you're playing all that on ball, and you have gotten the offense to go away from the pick and roll because your pick and roll defense is so deadly, just understand this. Tough shots will still be made. I mean, it's a basketball game. Nobody is going to score 0 points on you, no matter how good your defense is. Like, look at that. I was fully contested. It goes in. You just let that go. Because defense is about positioning. Defense is about playing the odds. It's not as simple as offense where you do well, you score. It's kind of guaranteed. Defense is more like you do well, you have a very good chance of not having the other guy score. If they still score, you move on. And likely, if you can shut down them with the pick and roll and you're shutting them on ball, they're going to run plays on you. So when you see plays coming, just read and guard play and guard the threat off ball. You see, I didn't guard the threat here, which is Patty Mills, so I died to it. Very simple to read also. I just got lazy there. You got to understand, if the on-ball handler is standing there and not doing much, a play is coming. So play off ball. If you see the on-ball like Bellani here, he's not doing anything. He's running a play and I failed. So that's the key. If you see the handler not moving, it's a play, go off ball. Forget about everything else I taught you about pick and roll defense and all that. You got to go off ball when you sense a play is incoming. Alright, so that's it for these tips today. I know you must be like, hey, Sam, I understand you're trying to show me like, kind of beginner's ways of how to shut down the, pick and roll here. So how does these go with settings? Well, it doesn't really matter because what the defensive settings really do is it just makes sure your AI don't break randomly and it does things that you have no idea is coming. Defensive settings just gives you consistency and it allows you to expect where your help is coming. And it kind of puts you in front in a pick and roll situation. Because if you know you're playing catch hedge and you're doing the over, then even if you switch off to control the hedge, the AI defender is going to try to get over the screen. Or if you set it to under, then hey, if I get off and I switch to the hedge early, then my player will go under. And vice versa, right? If you know what hedge your big man is playing, let's say catch hedge, then okay, on the screen, I can go over and another big man will drop. So once I go over the screen, I know where my big man will be around if I switch to him to control the hedge himself. I always preach to you guys, you're still gonna do all the defense yourself. The settings just kind of puts the AI defense in position while you're controlling somebody else. Because you can't control 5 defenders at once. This is not pro-am. Right? You can only control one, but at the same time, you need to use the settings to help yourself understand where your defenders are going to be as you switch through all of them. I mean, here I'm literally teaching you to start off on ball, switch to hedge, and then switch to a third guy. So essentially, you need to know what the on ball defender is going to do when you switch off of him. You need to understand what the hedge defender is going to do when you're using the on ball, and you need to understand when you bring in the third defender where around he's going to be as you control the hedge. So that's what settings are. It puts the AI defenders in position you expect them to be. So when you switch to them, you won't be too far behind. Because if you don't have settings, you have no idea where any of the guys are, and you don't know what they're about to do as you do what you're about to do. That's what settings are, but defense still comes down to you controlling the guy and doing the right job. Settings puts you in the right position to execute faster. It does not ever solve the problem for you, alright? You gotta solve that problem yourself with these tech skills. So, here you have it, and as always, thanks for coming by. Always love chatting with you guys. I'm working hard on 2K League on my end. I'm also trying to make at least 2 tutorials so you guys a week as possible. Leave any questions in the comment section. I'll probably bring more tutorials next week on money play and more advanced skills. And as always, thanks for being here, and I will see all of you next time.